This is a workplace theft case out of Orange City, Florida. Simple on the surface. Legally, there is more happening than it looks. An employee at a Racetrack convenience store allegedly ran a void-in-pocket scheme for several weeks, totaling just under $1,000 in losses. She was arrested on January 9, 2025. Then, a second charge appeared at booking. That second charge is worth understanding.
What's up, man? You call? All right. I'm Officer Lakey, Orange City. What's going on?
I have an employee that was stealing.
Okay.
Stuff like that, and then my supervisor should be here shortly and stuff like that, and then I guess they want to put charges on her.
Okay, when are they going to be here?
I'm going to call right now.
Yeah.
She said that the amount there at roughly is about 900, and they said that it's been going on for a couple weeks.
900? Mm-hmm. Okay, do they all have this on, like, paper?
Yeah, they said they're going to have it all compiled when she gets here and stuff like that.
Do you know if it's, like, cash, or is it, like...
That I don't know. When I was here yesterday, she called me because I guess she got a call from the county, and I guess she got flagged for some transactions, so I do a deep dive to see what's going on, and I guess they got her on camera stealing money.
Okay. Do you know the employee's name?
Yes.
What time is she going to be here?
She'll be here in a little bit, a couple minutes. She's scheduled to be here at 1:30.
And I'm sure, like, you guys are going to fire her, right?
Most likely, yeah. She just texted me. She said she's going to be a little bit late. As soon as she's here, I'll send her your way.
All right. Well, we want to talk to the manager before we talk to her. All right.
She's going to be here before.
You guys got here quick. The GM was on the phone for like 10, 15 minutes with non-emergency. And I was like, I guess call 911. I was like, it's not like an emergency. I feel bad. And then he literally just texted me. He's like, he's here. He's asking me questions. I was like, why are you freaking out?
So what's going on?
So this girl, she's knocking sales. That's what we call it. So basically, she's ringing up the transaction. She's voiding the transaction like it never happened, accepting the person's cash, opening the register, putting it in there, and later putting it in her pocket.
And the customer walks out with the items?
With the items. Mm-hmm.
With the items, okay. So she'd put it in the register, and then...
Yep. So you pay me for $100 worth of stuff. I ring it up so you can see the total on the register, and then I void it. So there's nothing on the register, and then I just open the register so it'll pop open. I put the 100 in there to finalize the transaction, and I do the math, whatever change I gotta give you. I give you the change, and you're gone with your happy day. Okay. And then later, when nobody's looking, I take the money. Because that transaction never happened. Really,
and you have all this on video and stuff?
Yep.
Okay.
So we have it, so it gets hit twice. It gets hit with cash, and it also gets hit with product. So inventory with the department of inventory
I see what you're
is
saying.
already...
Because when they, let's say they get a drink or whatever, they didn't pay it, but they're still walking out with it, so you're out the money and the product. I got it. Okay.
So loss prevention is already they've already started the email. I'm really here to have the conversation, file the report with you.
I'm good. Are y'all gonna terminate her or what? I mean, that's on you guys. But.
Yeah, I'm terminating her, but
okay.
Definitely.
What time is she supposed to be here? 1:30?
1:30.
All right. Well, she's already late, so that shows you something.
She's not here?
I don't think so.
Hi.
All right. Can we view the video?
Here. Running late. Do I have the video? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's look at that.
Have you ever had law enforcement involved?
Yep.
Like that they take one? Yeah, I've never done it. Yep.
When did this start?
So she's been with us since November. They got flagged with loss prevention the first week, so this is on the 4th. So what I'm gonna provide, and loss prevention already has like copies too, is like more data of like her shifts that were worked, also like a transaction journal on our side on shows like how many times voids were done, and then pretty much that gets narrowed down because some of the voids are real. Like, oops, I rung up too many, it's a void. But a lot of them are not true. So if I can ballpark it, a few weeks, I don't think a month.
But she's been with you since November of 2024.
Yes.
So,
okay, let me just show you the email. So, guest is there, rings up, grabs the money. She voids out the transaction. So, it doesn't show there. But here, you see there's nothing on there. There's no...
And that's where the product usually goes?
And then later she puts the money to the side, puts the money in her hand, and then she's putting the money in her pocket.
Okay. Can you try to get that video to work? I know it's hard, but...
Yes. I just wanted to show you.
I just wanted, just see her put it in her pocket. And this is with, like, Lotto 2 and cigarettes and alcohol and...
Everything that's cash. So right now she has lotto and she has secrets. So she collected all the money.
Correct.
I'm pretty sure she started like small, but
Make a dollar here and there.
in the last 7 days, it's been like $900. So I think she's been here for a few weeks.
So if they need to change, she's counting the change out in her head type of thing right now? Mm-hmm. Okay. That's the money that she gave her, right? She didn't put it in the drawer? I saw her take money out of the drawer too. So what's she doing now?
Oh, that's interesting. That's the night manager. Carly!
Yes, ma'am.
I think the night manager might be involved in that too. Night manager's here off the clock.
Yeah.
Right here, does she put it in her pocket?
I don't think so.
So she didn't put anything there.
Not yet.
Okay.
So she put it on the
She's
side,
moving
and when
it to
nobody
the-
is there, that's when we take it. But like when nobody is
Okay.
there.
I'm so sorry, I'm so loud. So sorry.
Was that her? I think that might be her.
Hi! How you doing? Let's right now. Perfect.
So all the money's in the register right now.
Yep.
Right now, yeah.
So that last spot that you see with cash
All the
in
way
it
to the
is
left.
typically empty. We don't have bills that go there.
But the card transactions, you can't do it because there's
You're not paying
it's
attention.
digital.
Right.
And if we did, it
There's
would just
track for
go right
everything.
back.
Start with the arrest itself. Florida Statutes Section 901.15, subsection 3, allows a warrantless felony arrest in a public place. The requirement is probable cause, reasonable grounds to believe the person in front of you committed the felony, not proof. Probable cause. By the time Officer Lakey put on handcuffs, he had reviewed surveillance footage on scene, received a detailed statement from the district supervisor, and had documented lost figures. That stack of evidence clears the probable cause threshold without question. The arrest was legally sound. Now the theft charge itself. Florida Statutes Section 812.014 defines grand theft in the third degree as taking property valued between $750 and $20,000. The documented loss here was approximately $997. Third-degree felony. Maximum 5 years imprisonment. What made this particular scheme legally significant is the use of the void function. The transaction appeared real to the customer. The register showed a total. Change was made. But the record was erased before it ever hit the system. That is not impulsive theft. That is deliberate concealment of a financial crime. Under Florida law, intent is a required element of theft. The void pattern, documented over multiple shifts, is direct evidence of that intent. Miranda. Officer Lakey administered the advisement promptly after handcuffing. The standard comes from Miranda versus Arizona, decided by the Supreme Court in 1966. Custodial interrogation requires 4 warnings. Right to silence, anything said can be used. Right to an attorney. Right to appointed counsel if unable to afford one. The subject responded, "I want to talk to my attorney." That is an unambiguous invocation. 1 sentence. Questioning stops. Edwards versus Arizona, decided in 1981, made this rule absolute. Once counsel is invoked, no further questioning is permitted unless counsel is present, or the suspect voluntarily reinitiates contact. Officer Lakey acknowledged and stopped. That is exactly what the law requires. No follow-up questions. No conversation that could be characterized as interrogation. The search at the scene was authorized under the search incident to arrest doctrine. Chimmel versus California, decided in 1969, established this exception. Officers may search an arrestee's person and the area within their immediate control at the moment of arrest. No warrant needed. The arrest itself is the authority. A female officer conducted the pat-down appropriate practice for gender-based search compliance. The problem is that the search missed a crushed blue pill concealed within folded currency. That pill was not found until booking at the Volusia County branch jail when the money fell from the subject's waistband during intake. Florida Statutes, Section 951.22, prohibits introducing contraband into a county detention facility. Controlled substance. Concealed in currency. Clear violation. This is a separate felony from the theft charge. 2 cases, 2 charges, arising from 1 arrest. The second charge did not have to exist. The subject was asked directly before the pat-down whether she had anything on her that could cause problems. She said no. That denial did not create an additional crime in itself, but it reflects a decision that turned a single felony case into 2. That matters at sentencing.
What's her name? Where'd she go? Down.
Are you serious?
Yep. Put your hands behind your back.
Hold on. Okay. Let me quickly.
Nope. Nope. Put the bag down. I don't know what's in the bag. All right. 11 Charlie 71 Central. Adult female 1012. Adult female 1012. You know why we're here?
No.
Okay. Come here. Have a seat. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in court. Do you understand these rights? What these rights amount? Do you wish to speak to me?
I want to talk to my attorney.
You want to talk to your attorney? Okay.
My lawyer, pick it up. Can I give you my lawyer's number? It's on my pocket.
You said you want your coworker to pick it up?
Yeah.
Where's your phone? Yeah, there's somebody's coming to search you. Okay. All right. And then we'll take off your jacket then. So, all right. Where's your coworker at?
He's at my house.
Yeah, we can give him the phone to call and pick it up. What's your coworker's name so we can get him on the bag? You know the number?
No, I don't know his number right here.
Is the bag? Is your phone in your bag?
No, it's in my pocket.
Right here.
Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
So I just got arrested. I need you to come pick up my bag.
Okay.
I'm at work. Well, my ex job now, but yeah, just don't say anything until I speak to my lawyer, please. Just come and get my bag.
Where are you?
I'm in front of the job.
Okay. Alright, I'm coming right now.
Thank you.
There's gonna be like I said, there's a female coming to search you. Okay. You have anything on you that might get you in trouble? No. Okay. So over
From
the
1-1,
first to she's done this $900.
$970. Yeah.
Okay. They're gonna email this to me now.
Yep.
Perfect. And then just put on behalf of Racetrack, we do wish to pursue charges. Alright, you got your ID back? I gave you the business card? Alright, you swear and affirm everything's true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. Alright,
Thanks.
perfect. Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Did I just ask what she's getting arrested for?
Grand theft.
Grand theft. It's not a warrant, is it?
Nope.
No. He said grand theft, what's the MO?
Tell him to read the report.
He said read the report. I'm sorry, he said amount. I'm sorry, not MO.
Yeah, he can find it on the report. I don't have to give any information out.
Okay, he said, you know the bond amount off the top of your head, sir?
2,500.
I'm sorry?
2,500.
I'm sorry it took me so long. I don't know why I thought they said Yankee 71, so I'm like,
No worries.
to them, and then I was like, I swear they said North Volusia. Then I saw that was you. I was like, I'm an idiot.
No worries.
Yeah.
What's that?
My headphones.
Your headphones? Okay. Turn around and face the car. This deputy's gonna search you.
Oh my gosh, you got everything. Holy smokes.
No,
You have
I'll
a
get a bag.
bag?
Yeah.
You want all this stuff in there for right now? Okay.
Yeah, I'll take care of that stuff.
All right. Then I'll just let you. You want her earrings and stuff on?
You want?
Take them off, right? They're gonna take them off anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Take them off. Do you have a necklace?
You want the necklace off?
Yeah, because they're gonna take that too, right?
I mean, they'll give it back to you, but they're gonna make you take it off.
No, yeah. And here?
Yep. Watch your head.
Alrighty, thank you.
No problem.
Appreciate you.
Now grading. Officer Lakey receives an A-. His investigation was methodical. He built probable cause before making the arrest, not after. He reviewed footage on scene. He obtained a sworn affirmation from the supervisor. He facilitated a phone call for the arrestee after invoking counsel. Professional throughout. The deduction is narrow. A missed search. When an officer briefs a secondary officer on a pat-down, communicating what to look for, including currency concealment, is part of the handoff. Under Graham versus Connor, the use of force here was objectively reasonable. Verbal commands first. Minimal physical control for handcuffing. Nothing escalated beyond that. For the subject, a C. The invocation of Miranda rights was clean and legally correct. Compliance after arrest was appropriate. Those are real positives. But the theft scheme was systematic and escalating. And denying the presence of contraband, when directly asked, added a second felony to an already serious legal situation. Knowledge of your rights matters. Exercising them well is a different skill. Invoking counsel was the right call. Carrying contraband into a jail was not. The employer receives a B+. Loss prevention flagged the pattern within the first week of employment. By the time police were called, documentation was ready. Transaction journals. Surveillance footage. Estimated loss figures. The supervisor communicated the scheme clearly and formally confirmed intent to prosecute. One open question from the footage: irregular cash handling by the night manager was noted. Whether internal controls address that separately is not visible in this footage. The broader lesson here is about documentation. This case moved to arrest because the employer had records that predated the police call. Transaction journals showing void frequency. Surveillance tied to specific shifts. A loss estimate backed by data. That is the difference between a report and a case. For law enforcement, communicating search priorities during a handoff is not a minor detail. The contraband that reached the jail could have been found at the scene. For anyone facing arrest, invoking counsel immediately is always the correct move. What you carry on your body when arrested becomes part of your criminal record. The theft case was straightforward. The second charge was avoidable. That distinction is the real takeaway here. If there is an interaction or legal topic you would like discussed, leave it in the comments. Thank you for watching. Check out the second channel for more police interaction and courtroom content.